Press start to begin.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Super Bonus Round. We're back with more Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Justice for All. I am your host, John Mookie. We're a jam, joined as always by my co-host, Jack Peanut.
Oh, sorry, got cut out that. Hey!
You're cut out. You did cut out really bad.
And Rich Raymond is 767.
Boob.
Yeah, I showed Rich a picture of a cat who's like staring up, and it looks like they put Beal. It spells boob with his eyes, and Rich hasn't been able to think straight since.
No, I have not.
But we have to think straight if we want to find out why Miss Adrian Andrews was protecting Matt.
Meanwhile, I'm looking at the chat with the screen share, and the cat is looking up at Adrian Andrews and thinking,
From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had the feeling that Matt was a murderer. Matt had tried to kill one no matter what.
Oh my god, I just had a brilliant idea that Rick's gonna love. When Adrian's turning that car around, have it be the cat.
Yes. He didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. It's also confirmed by the evidence, of course.
Have it be the opposite side of the shell.
yes, like right there. Boob.
But I'm Matt's menacer, so I felt I had to protect him.
Just gonna be shell boob. Shell boob. This does account for everything.
Well, I am the logical type. We've finally seen her true self. She's more nervous than a scared rabbit.
If the defense can find no fault with this testimony, I am ready to make a ruling. Please keep that in mind as you cross-examine Mr. Wright.
Looks like somehow everything has swung to the opposite end of the scale again. That just means I have to put my weight onto this and turn her logic upside down. Okay, so... press this one. Object! Oh, hold it. Jump the gun there. You can hardly call the knife decisive evidence. The fingerprints on the knife could very well be a clever camouflage.
Then, what about the button?
The button?
It's clear from the crime scene that the victim and his murderer fought. And during the fight, the killer ripped the button from the Chairman Ninja's costume.
You're talking about this button, correct?
The button was found in the piece of Matt's Hakama. Isn't that correct? I would think that makes it very decisive evidence.
Looks like you are outfoxed again, Mr. Wright.
Anyway, the knife doesn't prove a thing. Please fix your testimony.
I can't stand the sight of a man who can't gracefully accept his defeat.
Did anybody notice that it stopped at I can't stand the sight of a man? Then there's a pause. Who can't gracefully accept his defeat? So now I'm just thinking, you know that one meme of people do where like they're like looking inquisitively and it's like what?
The way this picture of me right now looking at Phoenix, and then all I can see in the Discord chat is the cat looking up and going boob.
No, what I was thinking is like I can't stand the sight of the man, and it cuts to Mia staring intently. You know that one meme of people like staring, looking inquisitively, and it's like the pride flag with a question mark?
Yeah, something like maybe.
Thank goodness, because she said I can't stand the sight of a man, and she paused there for like a solid second or two. Thank goodness Mia can still look at me. Plus, people shipped her and Francisca.
Oh God.
With an icy stare, yes.
Miss Andrews, for Mr. Wright's sake, please add this information to your testimony. Burb.
The button was turned off of Juan during his fight with Matt.
No. Wrong. Objection. This is the victim's autopsy report. It clearly states that the cause of death was a strangulation by a scarf.
Strangulation?
The knife stab to the victim was done after the victim had already died.
And what does that mean?
Let's examine the evidence. This button has the victim's blood on it, which would mean that it was ripped off the costume. When?
After the knife was stabbed into the victim.
Exactly, which means it is impossible that this button was torn off during the victim's final struggle, because the victim was strangled to death in that fight. That's right, Miss Andrews. There is no way this button was ripped off during the struggle. This button was consciously pulled off the victim's already dead body.
Order! What is the meaning? What is the meaning of this, Wright?
So when that happens, that's on me.
So what if the button was torn off the body after the victim had already died? What does that change?
Let me ask you one simple question, Mr. Edward. Why was the button torn off? What purpose did that serve?
What purpose?
We now know this button was not torn off during the fight. So the murderer took the time and effort to purposely rip this off from the victim's body. That would mean that the murderer had something in mind, wouldn't it?
Mr. Wright, does this mean you know what the murderer wanted to do with this button? What was it?
To pin the crime on guard. There is only one logical reason for doing something like that. It was to pin the crime on Mr. On Guard. There is no way anyone would put a bloody button on their own pants. That's right, Mr. On Guard was set up by the real killer, of course.
And the real murderer is? Well, Mr. Wright, who in the world is the real killer then?
Anybody else knows the type of said who is the real murderer? Not the real murderer. Finally, I can't believe I managed to bring this trial all the way up to this point.
Phoenix, can't let you go down yet. Not to the very end.
The real killer, the person who planned to frame Mr. On Guard is... Who else?
Adrian. And...
Miss Adrian Andrews. I choose you! You are Mr. Korea's killer!
What?
Oh, I didn't have a spare that time?
Order! Mr. Wright! This is a very grave matter. Do you have any evidence that supports your charge?
Any evidence? All of the evidence points to Miss Andrews. Oh, there's your spare.
How preposterous. You can't stick any of that onto me.
I can't, can I? Wouldn't you care to test me?
Then what about this knife?
The knife was used to stab the victim after he had already been strangled to death. It was used to throw suspicion onto Mr. On Guard, naturally. A knife covered in the defendant's fingerprints could only be taken from his room. And the only one who had dinner with him and knew which knife to take was you.
Sis.
Damn, how many do you have?
Then... What about the button that was found in Matt's Hakama?
This button was removed from the victim's body after he had already died. The only people who could have done so were the person who found his body or the killer. However, if Mr. On Guard was the real killer, there is no way he would have put such an incriminating evidence in his own Hakama.
Ah!
What the fuck? The only person who could have put this button on Mr. On Guard's Hakama is the person who went to wake him from his nap, which is you yet again, Miss Andrews.
I see. What about the empty guitar case?
There is also another piece of evidence that incriminates Miss Andrews. That costume was used to hide the real killer's identity as they fled the crime scene. Now, who could have known that there was just such a costume inside the guitar case? It could only have been the person who prepared the costume for the victim. And that person is you, Miss Adrian Andrews.
No,
But Miss Andrews' fingerprints were nowhere to be found on the guitar case. And it was you who proved she was not wearing gloves at the time. That's right.
That's because she did not intend on leaving any prints. If anyone had found out she had touched the case, they would have asked her why. So to avoid leaving any prints, she used a towel or something else to open it. But the glass of tomato juice is a different story. Miss Andrews purposefully left her fingerprints on the glass to show that, yes, indeed, she was the classic dazed discoverer of a dead body. Which, by the way, no. Damn, girl, who is your optometrist? I don't need your insurance. And to top it all off, there is this photo. A photo of the killer as they exited the scene of the crime. No reasonable person on Earth could believe this nickel samurai is Mr. On Guard. He would be much too short for his own costume if it was him. Speaking of how tall people are, shorty, Miss Andrews, you're also kind of short in stature, are you not?
Please, stop.
Well, how about it, Miss Andrews? I've got her this time.
Miss Andrews?
I refuse to testify.
What was that?
There's a law. It says I can be forced to testify about someone if it can incriminate me.
Is that what?
Well, yes. You are absolutely correct, Miss Andrews. The law does provide us with a way to avoid a self-incrimination by allowing a witness to not testify if the testimony can cause damage to themselves.
What? Pleading the fifth is not something most people would think to do on the spot.
Actually, this takes every person in Washington. Oh, what did I say?
Actually, thinking back to yesterday in Mr. On Guard's room.
Adrian Andrews.
Yes?
Think hard about what we just discussed. Understood?
All right.
I like that boob card. That's
The
it.
boobies.
That's when Franziska planted this idea into her head. She must have told Miss Andrews to not testify if things look bad.
You did a good job proving everything up to this point, Phoenix. But there's still one thing you haven't done.
Something I haven't done?
What's wrong, Wright? Are you finished already? Run out of evidence? What is so humorous, Mr. Edgeworth?
Did you see it in Miss Andrews' card? Oh yeah, it's very funny. Ha, boob.
I'm sure you realize this as well, Your Honor. But everything the good lawyer here has proven up to this point is meaningless.
What?
Everything you've proven is circumstantial.
Circumstantial?
Yes. Circumstantial. You have yet to provide a single piece of definitive proof. Proof that Miss Andrews did in fact harbor a wish to murder Mr. Corita. No, there was. Well, sort of. Miss Andrews, did you want to kill Mr. Corita?
I believe this may lead to me incriminating myself, so I will abstain from answering.
But Miss Andrews, you do that, it would be the same as admitting your guilt, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, that law's there, but by not testifying when you're
again, it's a catch-22. It's a catch-22.
Maybe so, maybe not. There's nothing to prove in either way. Besides, You don't even know what crime I would be guilty of due to my silence.
No! She's taking that defiant attitude again! Mia, what should we do?
Somehow, we've landed in the worst possible situation.
I think we have reached a certain conclusion at this point in time. Miss Adrian Andrews has refused to testify. And the defense's theory that she's the actual murderer has not been fully substantiated with solid definitive proof.
But that's not true!
In this situation, there is only one thing this court can do.
Oh no.
And that is to declare a recess.
Recess?
I request that both the prosecution and the defense look further into this matter. And at tomorrow's trial...
Tomorrow? We don't have a tomorrow! We don't get a not guilty verdict today, then... Hold it! Hold it! Please wait, Your Honor. That's not necessary. The trial. Please continue the trial.
What are you sweating for? Your client is getting one more day to live, isn't he?
That's not it! This isn't about that! Edgeworth, I know you know who the real killer is. Please let the trial continue. If I don't get the verdict, then Maya...
But it's impossible to continue as long as the witness refuses to testify. Now then, this court is...
Objection!
It is not impossible for this trial to continue. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you? It's true Miss Andrews holds the right against self-incrimination. However, if the topic of conversation were something unrelated to whatever she may be guilty of, then she has no right to withhold testimony. Yes, that is very true, but... Actually, there is one little thing I'm curious about. Miss Andrews. When you found the victim's dead body, you poured yourself a glass of juice! Yeah, because you're an alcoholic! I don't know!
Yes? And?
By the way, that is the dumbest shit I've ever heard! Oh, a dead body! Let me pour myself a glass of juice! I can't help but think how unnatural that is! No shit! Usually when one finds a body, they are shaken up, not stirring a glass of fucking juice!
So my actions were unusual? I've already...
Before you speak, I want to state that if you have a reason behind your actions, I would like you to testify to that effect.
Testify?
Your Honor, I would like to request that the witness testify again as to what happened when she first discovered the victim's body. Whatever we find out in this testimony should in no way implicate the witness.
I don't know what is about Edgeworth today. I can't get a good read on him. Is he friend or foe? I just don't know.
The court acknowledges the prosecution's request. Miss Andrews, if you please.
You all did notice that when Phoenix blurted out Maya's name, Edgeworth noticed that, right?
Yeah.
When I found the body.
That glass of juice, I didn't really pour it for myself. I was surprised when I walked into the room and saw it in a messy state. And Juan, he was sitting slumped over and tried looking in the corner.
Tired looking in the corner, you know, like all the life had just left him.
When I saw him sitting like that, I thought he was dead. Just didn't cross my mind. To be honest, I thought he had just fainted or something, so I went to put on some shoes. When I realized that he was dead, that's when I knocked over the flower face.
So you poured that glass of juice for the victim.
I thought that I saw a recipe for a Phoenix Down martini, and I thought it would actually work.
Why would you say so? Why didn't you say so early in your earlier testimony?
I didn't think I needed to include something so trivial.
That's pretty important.
That's very important.
Phoenix, be careful here. If you can't find anything wrong with this testimony, then there's nothing left.
I know. Edgeworth, what the heck's going on in that brain of yours?
Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
So this one will actually be very, very easy. So one of either the fourth or fifth statement, you can immediately present evidence. So 1, 2, 3, 4. When I saw something like that, the thought that he was dead didn't cross my mind. To quote Tim Robinson, "Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that?"
Are you fucking sure about that?
When I saw him, I didn't think he looked dead. Did you look downward? Did you happen to, look at his right nippy? Objection! So you honestly didn't think he was dead when you found him?
No, not at all.
Even though this is what you saw when you discovered the body?
Ah!
What is the meaning of this?
Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? There's a knife sticking straight out of Mr. Karita's chest.
His chest!
Anyone who saw this scene would have immediately thought he was a dead man.
Well, that's... Well, you see...
Me and Craig were down by the Safeway. The sun was in my eyes. I doubt a single person in the world would mistake this for someone who fainted, and then so nonchalantly go pour something to drink.
Your point is...
Miss Andrews, your testimony just now was all one giant lie. And your lie has proven one thing very clearly. You are the real killer.
And you have a shitload of glasses.
Who was your optometrist?
No!
It looks like the defense has somehow brought the ugly truth to light. The defendant, Mr. Matt on guard, is not guilty after all.
But that's impossible. You're wrong.
Miss Andrews, try to have some composure.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me, I tell you. It was Matt. I swear. He's the one who killed Juan.
But you were the one who refused to testify. And your reason for not doing so is you might end up incriminating yourself.
Which you did!
That's because...
Miss Andrews, I will give you one last chance. What exactly are you hiding that may incriminate you?
I refuse to testify.
'Cause you killed him! And there is no need for this court to continue any further. Mr. Mac on guard's innocence has been clearly demonstrated.
Is it over? Have we found the truth at last?
What's wrong, Phoenix?
Usually the real killer confesses his or her guilt. And now that I think about it, this is the first time someone hasn't.
Now then, I would like to hand down my verdict for Mr. Matt on guard.
Objection!
Come on! Come on! Oh, Your Honor!
Yeah, this case is like this. I'm sorry.
The prosecution feels that it would be premature to pass down a Edgeworth, Maya's going to die!
He doesn't know that yet.
What? The reason is quite simple. The witness has yet to speak the absolute real truth. The absolute real truth? What are you... Witness, don't you understand yet?
Huh?
I don't know who planted this silly idea in your head. But as long as you protect yourself through your silence, Matt on guard will go free, and in his place, you will become the guilty party.
That's a lie. I don't believe you.
What?
I was told if I spoke, then it would be all over, and Matt would never be declared guilty.
What in the world is she talking about? Has she lost it?
I can't speak about it. I'm too scared. It's Franziska von Karma.
Huh?
Don't you remember, Phoenix? Miss Andrew lives by gripping tightly onto the words of another. Because she doesn't have the strength to believe in herself.
Then, right now, Miss Andrews is...
Yesterday, she was tossed a lifesaver by Miss von Karma. Don't say a word, no matter what happens. If you do, our God will be acquitted. Miss Andrews' undying beliefs in those words right now, and is clinging not to them.
Then what should we do? This is the first time I've ever come across anything like this. Miss Andrews has to be the killer, right? All we have to do now is to get her not guilty. That's my only priority.
What's in me? I'm begging you. Please me. I didn't kill Juan. Help. Please, someone help me.
Mr. Wright,
Yes, Your Honor?
the court can't continue on like this. Therefore, I'd like to hear what you intend to do.
What I intend to do? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to say?
Right, I suggest you think very carefully about this. Think about what this witness did and what she did not do. And think about who is the real mastermind behind this crime.
I mean, the three of us have an inclination of who the real mastermind behind all this shit is. Who's the real mastermind? Isn't that obvious? There's no one else it could be except the woman crying right over there. Right?
Come now, what would you do? What kind of man are you, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
Force Andrews to testify.
Damn it!
Don't worry, we're almost at the end of this trial day. Don't worry. I have to win a complete acquittal today. There's no way around that. But I can't bring myself to do it like this. Not when she's making a face like that. Miss Andrews, I would like to know what you were really hiding.
Mr. Wright, are you sure you know what you're doing?
Sure, Myron Guard would get an acquittal, but in this place, you will be found guilty. Is this how you really want this trial to end?
Be quiet. How dare you? You're trying to trick me.
That's enough. I commend you for trying, Mr. Edgeworth. However, it's clear that the defense's theory is the truth.
You're wrong.
What a shame. I'd hoped things wouldn't come to this. However, Well, what is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Miss Andrews, since you absolutely refuse to testify, it falls on my shoulders to disclose this to the court.
Stop!
Mr. Edgeworth! What the? This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness.
What?
And because of this illness, she has tried to commit suicide in the past.
Stop! Please stop!
No matter how much you want to hide it, it's no use. Have the evidence right. I have the evidence right here.
That's
the second part of the suicide report. The attempted suicide report.
What will you do now, witness? You know what I am about to do, don't you? I will now reveal to the court the true nature of the pitiful woman known as Adrian Andrews.
The secret of her dependent nature. Having other people know about it scares her more than anything else in the world.
Please stop! I beg you! If people find out...
Oh, he's going for the throat.
Find out, I'll...
If you're going to say you would choose death, that is of no concern to me.
Edgeworth, how can you be so cold?
However, before you die, I will pull the truth from your still breathing lips.
Open wide.
No matter what I have to do. So will you tell the court yourself, or shall I? Either is fine with me.
I'll talk. Please, help me. Nothing matters anymore.
All right, one more testimony.
When I first saw him, I really thought he had fainted. Honest. When I realized he was dead, that was when I formulated my plan. Sorry, had to take a sip of water. Once I made sure there was no one in the hallway, I made a dash back to Matt's room. And then, I stabbed Juan's dead body with a knife and ripped off the button.
The bootin'.
And when I finished and was returned to Matt's room, I had a bit of an inconvenience. And that's why I ended up using the nickel samurai costume.
Stab the body with the knife? Why would you do that?
Isn't it obvious to pin the blame on a certain person? A certain cowardly man.
What do you mean by all this? It might take this court a little while to understand, but this is the truth.
The real killer's Matt. That scumbag of a man, I'll never forgive him. He's trying to escape his guilt again, just like last time.
Last time?
So Miss Andrews stabbed the victim Juan Carita in the chest with the knife. However, she didn't do it with murder in mind. She did it with the intent of framing Matt on guard for the murder. And this is her crime.
What? How is this possible? I mean, wasn't Miss Andrews supposed to be the real murderer?
Mr. Wright, please get over your shock and commence the cross-examination.
All right, let's finish this one off. Okay, so the only thing we have to do is press everything she says.
Oh, wow.
Hold it! But you could tell from the state the room was in that there must have been a fight. Are you telling the truth when you say that you did not know he was dead?
He had a scarf tied around his neck.
Boop.
But the scarf is a part of the Gem Ninja's costume, so...
Boop.
So... I didn't think anything about it was strange. His head was also tilted down a bit, so I couldn't see his face that well. That's why I thought I'd wake him up and went to put the juice.
Hold it! What is this plan you had?
Boop.
I knew right away the murderer was Matt. I knew because one was going to expose Matt's weakest point to the world. So Matt did this to stop one and silence him for good. That's what I thought. I should forge some evidence and pin this crime on Matt.
So the forged pieces of evidence were the knife and the button.
The first thing that came to mind was to plant the knife.
Hold it! That was so you could get the knife, correct?
The knife Matt used at dinner had his fingerprints all over it. I thought if I used that, then the police would certainly turn their eyes towards him. Matt was napping with his costume on at the time. I slipped it in, took the knife, and returned to the scene of the crime.
That gear on his shoulder cannot be comfortable as a pillow.
Then,
Hold it!
Oh, that's right.
So you were the one to stab the victim with that knife.
It gives me goosebumps to think about it. What a horrible thing I did. But at the time, I couldn't control my own body. It moved on its own. Then, when I saw Juan's dead body, I suddenly realized something. If I use the blood button somehow, I could make Matt look even more suspect.
So you thought to rip one of the buttons off and then play it in Mr. Onguard's Akama.
Yes, that's what I had planned to do. But things never go that smoothly, do they? That's right.
Hold it! An inconvenience?
There was a woman with a camera at the ready, ordering in the hallway.
I'm willing to bet my spikes it was Lotta.
There was also a woman with a ray gun at the ready, pacing back and forth.
That's Miss Oldbag for you.
I had already been caught and made into a big scoop for a certain weekly tabloid once. I couldn't, so I could very well go out looking like myself and get caught again.
Hold it! You were the one who prepared that costume, weren't you?
Yes, I took it from Global Studios. I also put it into Juan's guitar case the day before the award ceremony.
You did this in preparation for the press conference, correct?
Yes, Juan wanted to wear that costume and hold a press conference in it. And he was going to disclose Matt's big secret there.
And what is this secret?
That, I don't know. Anyway, I thought if I were to leave Juan's room in the Nickel Samurai costume, then people would think that Matt was a real murderer. I was very careful not to leave any fingerprints once I opened the guitar case. I actually did not want anyone to know about the costume.
I think we've heard enough. So after that, you went back to Mr. Onguard's room and planted the button.
into Matt Hakamal? Yes. And after that, I put up the costume I was wearing and put it into a bag. Then I snuck it out of the hotel and got rid of it.
My word. What? What does all this mean?
Mr. Edgeworth, is it? The real
Really?
criminal is Matt on guard. Yesterday, that woman prosecutor sat me down for a talk.
Franziska, huh?
She said that I should, under no circumstances, confess to what I had done. That, if I kept quiet, then Matt would be found guilty for sure. I had no choice but to believe in her words.
What this witness has done is clearly unlawful.
And so has that prosecutor.
However, as long as her testimony stands, we can be certain she is not the real killer.
And that prosecutor woman also broke the law. Man, someone should really shoot that bitch. Wait, Your Honor! The defense still...
Right. It's pointless. At this point in time, it is not possible to indict Miss Andrews on anything. Yes, exactly. There isn't a single piece of evidence that points to her as the murderer. The cross-examination of the witness is over, and so is today's trial.
Uh-oh.
You couldn't establish that the witness was the culprit. Please let it go, Mr. Wright. Mr. Edgeworth, please place Miss Andrews under arrest for further questioning. Understood, Your Honor. The prosecution will arrange for her detention immediately. That is all. Court is adjourned for today.
Oh no.
That echoing gavel, though. And you just hear a distant echo of the judge. Today's trial. It's over. And I didn't win in the acquittal.
Witness, would you mind if I asked you something?
Edgeworth.
What is it?
Before you leave court today, I wondered if I might look at one thing. The card in your hand. It's had my interest for quite some time now.
I see the shell, but can you flip the back for me? Boob.
Yeah! What exactly is it?
Oh, this? Mr. Wright also asked about this. Although, I didn't remember it at the time you asked me about it, Mr. Wright. I remember it just now. I found this in the room on that day.
The room?
What? That day?
Yes. I found this card when I discovered Juan's body. It was lying there right next to him.
You found that card next to the victim's body?
I suppose I must have unconsciously slipped it into my pocket. But it's not as if this card has any relevance to Juan's murder, right?
I would think that it does! Yeah, I guess not, but it's still a strange card if you ask me. But as far as a clue to this case, I don't see why.
witness that card. Give it to me. Hurry.
Edgeworth?
Do you have any idea, or do you have any idea what you have stupidly yet inadvertently done? I can't believe you hid this from me all this time.
I didn't mean to. What is this all about?
I've never seen Edgeworth so emotional before. That card. What in the world is it? And what does it mean? You're gonna have to find out next time on Super Bonus Round.
Oh.
So thank you guys again so much for watching. Holy shit. Well, we'll see you guys next time. Hopefully Maya survives. And what is the meaning behind that card other than a cat with boob on it? We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Boob.